All right. So the way I like to start, this is a bear chart. There's nothing on it. Well, there was some fib, but I like to start on the 1 day. This is US30. This is what I like to trade. This is like my toxic favorite friend. So I'm gonna remove this. Everybody can see. If you can't see something, let me know. And all right. So as you could see, US30 has been doing this, right? For the last almost a month, she's been going on a downtrend. Let me admit. Hi, Vincent. Man, so bear with me. Morning, Vincent. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Anyways, I think Vincent is trying to connect. All right, so I'm just going to assume that everybody knows what candles are, but if not, basically when the market does a movement, it shows a buy candle or a sell candle. That's like, I'm gonna go as basic as that. If you guys don't know about candles, I'm gonna send you a couple links that will get you from A to Z with all candle formations. In this case, I'm on the daily. So each candle represents a day, okay? As I go down on the time frames, each candle will represent that time frame that I'm looking at. In this case, I'm looking at daily, so each candle represents a day. If you notice, yesterday was a bearish candle because it was red. So there was a big movement to the downside yesterday. So if I look at my market right now, since August 16th, I'm on a downtrend. So most likely this downtrend will continue. It's not a for sure thing, but that is the trend right now. So then I go to the 4 hours. 4 hours, I keep looking at the same thing. I'm on a downtrend. Why? Because I started high, then I came back up a little bit, but I'm continuing the downtrend. Okay. Here is where I'm going to draw my demand and supply zones. Demand and supply zones are basically areas that of accumulation or distribution in the market, which means that the market will go back to most of the time. If you notice, it's areas where price kind of gathered a lot. So I like to do this with lines just because they're easier to spot. Also, let me just close this stuff for a second and then I'll show you what they are. So basically, so when I look at a market like this, I'm going to look at areas of supply and demand, which is basically areas of high peak or lows, or areas where they both touch. If you notice here, there's a low point here, but it's also a high point here. So that's an area of interest to me. So I'm just basically going to draw a little box that goes like this. That kind of touches both points as much as possible. So that's an area that probably the market will go back to. Another one, we have another one right here. It's not going to be perfect, you guys, but more or less you can see it. it was an area of resistance here, and then it became an area of support where the market just kind of shot up and it kind of touched back up again. So this is something that I'm going to be interested in. And then if you notice already, I had this one marked. I marked this one off of candles last night, but it kind of sits well already where it touched both points in the market. I could even like open it up a little bit more just to include this one up here, but that's basically what I'm going to be looking at. And then we have this area right here that it's becoming interesting right now. So, and I had marked this tiny one up here, but it's bigger on lower time frame. So I'm on the 4 hours. I'm going to switch back to candles. And then I'm going to go down to the 1 hour. Now, a lot of people don't like to see charts like this because they think it's so crowded. To me, it works because I see these boxes. These boxes, for the most part, the market will go back to them at some point. We don't know when, but most likely they'll go back to it. Any questions? So that's that. Then I'm going to throw my fibs. I'm going to throw, like the market has been doing a lot of movements. So I'm going to try to throw it from the 1 hour because I do believe this is one big movement. So I'm going to throw it from here to here, to the lowest of the low. With US 30, sometimes you don't want to do this on the 4 hours. I'm doing this just because it's part of a big movement. I'm going to change the color so you guys. Ugh, no. Hold on. Let's do yellow. No, yuck. Well, something, I'm going to leave it back to white. I like it. Anyways, because with the boxes and stuff. So as you can see, there's a lot of areas that the market needs to touch back again. So this is my fib. A fib is basically areas of the Fibonacci is a mathematician, and he created this law of, I don't know, tendencies, everything in the market, everything in the world has this spiral to it. So these are areas of retracement, of expansion. These are areas where the market will go. And if you notice, since I threw it from the top, it kind of touches these levels, kind of touches these blue areas that I had already marked. So that's the beauty of how the market works. All right. So this is my fib. I threw it from the top down. If you notice, I'm still in between the 0 and the 23%. So I'm not in a huge area from the big move. You ideally want to take a trade off these areas. But since I took it from the 4 hour, these areas are going to be a little bit more separated. You could throw fibs from every time frame. So I'm going to go back down to the 1 hour, which is more interesting to me. And I'm going to see what's going on in here. This is a big move as well. Hold on 1 sec. So this is a big move as well, which is the one that happened last Friday. But if I'm going to throw a fib on the hour, I most likely will do it from yesterday's move, which was this one, okay? Because I want to see how far in the movement I'm moving. This one, I'm going to throw it in another color, definitely. And this I probably won't keep permanently on my chart because it's going to clog it. So I'm just going to mark this right here. I'm going to change colors on this one just for visual purposes. And I like to lock it just because that way it doesn't move. Oh, okay. I'm gonna mute you guys just in case you wanna ask questions. So I already sent you the stuff to unmute yourselves. So if you have questions, unmute yourselves. And so on the hour, I'm approaching this 38%. So definitely an area of interest. It's also getting into the blue box. So she has potential to go from here to all the way up here. So right now, she's not showing any huge movement potential, but we'll see a little bit further. So this is the 1 hour. Also, another indicator that I use as part of my confluences are the moving averages. I wanna unhide them and I'm gonna show the settings. If you guys, and this is something that we could discuss later, but if you guys wanna write down the settings of my MAs, that way you have the same exact lines. So this one is the 8 moving average. If you notice, I just put on inputs 8, smoothing is 5. Then we have the 20-day and moving average. And then we have a 50-day. Okay. And yes, I use TradingView for everything. So I'm going to go back down now as I marked the hour already. If you notice, the market's doing this. This is something that it's indicating that on the 1 hour, she is turning a little bullish. Doesn't mean that she's going to be bullish, but it means that some sort of retracement is going on. So she's either going to get to here or most likely it's a 50%. 50% is usually a very good point to take a trade. 50 and 61. And if you notice, that fib falls exactly in the middle of the box that I marked or right at the top, which is ideal. If she gets up here, that's an ideal place to take a trade from. Everybody following with me? Oh. That's that. Let me go look at the 30 minutes. 30 minutes, we're still doing this little hook thing. This little hook thing is letting me know that she is still bullish on the 30 minutes. Again, as I go down on time, these candles represent that unit of time. So each candle represents 30 minutes. So for this 30 minutes, we have about 11 minutes left. And if you notice, she's accumulating right at the bottom of this box, which is pretty much in line with a 38% fib. It's also a good point, not as ideal, but she could, it's a point that she might be having a little bit resistance with. If you notice, she keeps touching and touching and touching and touching. So we go down to the 15 minutes. If you notice, yeah, the MAs are starting to spread apart a little bit. They're not as angled up, which could be a signification that she will turn a little bit to the downside. Doesn't mean that it's for sure, but yeah, once I start seeing these moves like that, it might be a signal that she's ready to come down. Then with US30, to be honest, I only take trades from the 5 minutes or the 3 minutes. Obviously, the higher time frames need to indicate the same, but since it moves so fast, I only take trades out of the 3 and out of the 5 minutes. A lot of people say, "Oh, take trades out of the 15." I don't like it personally. So I look at the 5 minutes, and the 5 minutes, again, a lot of accumulation on this point. So it's letting me know that 31,200 might be a place where she's at, and that where she has some sort of resistance. If you notice, she didn't pass past this level at all. So that's telling me something. And 31,200 is a psychological level. Psychological levels are levels that are round numbers, like 31,200, 31,100, things like that. So if I was to take the trade, I'll probably take it from here. So yeah, there's not a lot of volume right now because obviously it's pre-market, but this is basically when I like to spot my trades. Again, if you notice, I'm down at the 3 minutes. There's a lot of accumulation. Even in London, no, this is not London. This was yesterday's closing. Even yesterday's closing didn't go past 225. So if I was to take a trade right now, she's moving a little bit up. So I'll wait it out a little bit and take a trade out of the 227, or the top would be 200. And if you notice, she's starting to go down. So at this point, I personally would take the trade. I would take the trade. I'll wait until this candle closes, which is in about 2 minutes. I'll see what she does. If she gives me a bearish candle, I'll probably take it. It's high risk because you don't have full confirmation of the market. And she may or may not, because right now she's a little choppy, but I'll take it and probably put my stop loss a little bit above this wick right here. I'll put it like a 235, the stop loss, just in case if the market does turn, I have enough time to reassess and go on the opposite direction, or wait for her to be at the 50%. Maybe when market opens, maybe she'll give me a little bit of points right now, and when market opens, she'll try to go back here. Because right now we are far from market open. So, but I would think to take the trade around here. Any point here, it's a good point, in my opinion. So, any questions for me? Let me just, I guess you guys unmute yourselves if you can. If you have any questions.
Why do you prefer the 5 and 3 minute trades?
Because US30 on other pairs, I don't look at the 3 minutes or the 5 minutes, but US30 moves a lot and it moves quick. So remember, US30 is the top 30 companies in the US economy. So they move a lot and they move quick. So if you go down to a higher time frame expecting a move, you might be sitting there forever. The higher time frames will give you an indication of overall market. If you notice, the market was on a downtrend. So most likely her trajectory would be to go down unless I get another confirmation that she reversed. But for now, she is on a bearish move. So chances are she will continue to go down today. If you notice, she already gave me a bear candle. At this point, again, it's risky, but I would take this trade right now. If I was like trading alone, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna take this. And I'll start it from here. Even though it might not move as fast right now, it's definitely a point that she's reacting to. It doesn't mean anything if she still hangs around here when market opens. There might be a push to here, but these two levels are definitely interesting. If she passes this level, then I'll be looking at these two. And this one primarily because it's going to fill this whole box that she left from yesterday's big push down. I would take this trade, or since she's still like pointing up a little bit, on the MAs. I'll probably give it a couple minutes because she'll probably get here. And in this game, what you want, I think of this like as a video game. I'm catching pips. So as as precise as I could get on my entry is the more points that I'm going to accumulate. If I accumulate more points, I make more money. So that's the way I see it. To me, it's like I'm playing a video game right now, and I gotta beat the system, and I gotta get as many points from you as I can. I'm also gonna leave you guys because I'm currently in a challenge. I'm on phase 2 to get funded $100,000. In the past, I have already gotten funded 50. Unfortunately, I blew the account. So I'm practicing on 2 things. I'm practicing on discipline, and I'm practicing on getting this bigger account right now. So right now I'm on phase 2. For everybody that's learning, I recommend the challenges, because with the challenges, you're not playing with your own money, but you're not also doing a demo. I don't like demo accounts just because I think the emotional factor is not in it. At least with a challenge, you are staking a little bit because you have to buy into these challenges. So because of that, I think that to learn is good to use the challenges, because it'll give you that emotional aspect. You're working towards something. You are working to get funded. So the emotional aspect of it it's a very crucial part of this whole game. Because that will play a big factor on how you react to trades, how you react to losing. And again, all this is practice. On the 15th of this month, it makes a year that I've been doing this. I've had a lot of moments where I've questioned my own sanity with this thing. Um, it has given me a lot of perspective in life and how we do things. So definitely something that I've enjoyed. I recommend everybody to do, but it's not for the weak. I'm not gonna lie. Any other questions? And again, I'm gonna send you a few things in the chat. Let me do it right now, where I think this is where I got my education. I mean, I've done a lot of courses, and I've done a lot of, but this one that I'm gonna send you guys is absolutely free. It's kind of like a course / reading, and it'll tell you about candles. It'll tell you about patterns in the market. With US30, to be honest, I don't sit there and try to look for pattern other than where the hell it's going, with these MAs, because she changes so fast that, I mean, she's not gonna follow, for the most part, she's not gonna follow any pattern. She's gonna do whatever the hell it wants. So you have to react to her most of the time. It's not prediction. We react to her half the time. Well, no, you should react to everything in the market, because if you start predicting, that's where you go wrong. There's patterns that indicate that a movement may happen, but it's not for sure. With the market, you have to stay extremely flexible. You cannot marry any trade. You cannot marry any bias that you may have, because that's when people start making mistakes, because they're so sure that the market's going to melt. It's happened to me, where I'm so sure the market's going to melt, and it doesn't melt, and I end up holding a position longer than I should have, just because I was so convinced that the market was going to melt, and it doesn't. So right now, it has a probability that it's going to melt, but it's not for sure. Like, the movement is not as strong as yesterday's. There's not something in the market happening today that is going to make this a huge move. But I do think that we could see some movement to the downside a little later. But if you notice, she's still stuck in this channel. And I'm a big proponent of looking at the MAs. So until these MAs starting to show me something, I'm not going to take this trade. But definitely this zone right here is telling me that there's something going on. So I'm very interested in this area right now. Another pair that I look at this time, but I don't like to trade it at this time, I like to trade it a little bit earlier, is gold. But gold is one of those that is extremely toxic. So gold has been on a huge, huge, huge downtrend since August 14th. It's been this huge movement to the downside. This is an area that I had marked in the past, and most likely she's gonna come for it. If you notice, she's been breaking every level of support right now. She is going to try to break this one. If she breaks out of the 1688, definitely she's gonna continue down. So we have to pay attention how she's going to react to this level. So right now I have 2 alarms because yesterday I went on a trade that actually was unsuccessful because I was sure, or like it was a probability that she would come up here at least, and she did not. She's creating this big, big resistance right here, which makes sense because this is another point that she kind of did some sort of, if you notice here, there was a level of resistance and support from this level. So now is acting as a resistance for the new candle. Remember, these are 4-hour candles. So there's a lot of information within these candles. So if I go down to the 1 hour, I can see it a little bit better. See? So she reacted to this level, kind of goes into, this was a support at some point, and now she's kind of reacting to this. So I thought and hoped that she would come up here. She didn't. She kind of stayed here, another level. If you notice, gold is going to do this. So now she's probably going to sit here a lot, and then she's going to take down. So next level I'm looking at is this one, 1709. Where do you get the challenge? Let me send you the one that I use. I like this one a lot just because it's you could pass the challenges in one day. You don't have a minimum trading days. There's a lot of other challenges that that will ask you for at least 10 trading days or 5 trading days. This one doesn't. So let's say if you get your profit goal within a day or two, you're ready to move to the next phase. There are 2 phases. First one is 8% profit goal, and then the other one is 5% profit. I have the $100,000 account right now, so I need to make about 5,000. So let's go back to US30. I'm going to put, for shits and giggles, I'm just going to put an alarm here for gold, just in case. I'm going to remove this one. Just in case she gets to where I need to, I could see what's going to happen. Because then she might get here and then she might plummet down. Maybe not, or she might continue up. Definitely, if she passes that 1688 level, she will go down. See, in the 3 minutes on gold, I pay attention a lot to these AMAs. I don't think, again, this is a live platform, guys, so bear with me. And I don't consider myself a guru of any kind. Like I said, I've only been doing this for a year, but in a year I've learned as much as possible, and I'm trying to share this with you guys. And Edward, I'm going to send you guys the link to the broker I use for my challenges. So hang on a second. And this broker uses MetaTrader 4. So these are things that if you're going to do it off of your computer, you're going to have to download their MetaTrader 4 from them. And then looking for gold is going down. Oh, another thing with gold, guys. Another indication of whether she's going to go down or not. I split my screen and I look at the dollar index. If the dollar is super, super bullish. If you notice, let me remove this indicator. Dollar is been one big bully, which if the dollar goes up significantly, our economy goes down. Why? Because the dollar is getting stronger. If they push a news with inflation, this dollar is going to continue to go stronger. So gold and US30 for the most part will go down. This is the link to the broker, you guys. That's the link for the broker. It's E8. I recommend a challenge of at least 50,000. Do not get the little challenges because you will blow your account, because obviously the loss margins are very smaller when you have, because they're proportionate to your account size. So I do recommend a 50,000 and up account. So right now, dollar looks like she's very bullish. So a movement to the downside. Oh, look, US30 took off. So let's go. Hold on. I'm gonna take the trade. Right now, let me just go back to it, to the full screen. US30. Boom. Look, just talking to you guys. That was a movement of about 60 points. See, that's why I told you 7 o'clock, 7:30. That's like the best time. So right now, I'm gonna hang on to here, see what she's gonna do. Let her go up a little bit, but nah, she's going to. At this point, I will take this trade. It's not as high. Let me see. It's not as high as I wanted her, so I wanted it up here. Let me see if she would retrace a little bit. It's usually when she gives us these big candles like this, it means that all right. It's 30. All right. So we're writing her down now. I'm actually trading with you guys. So let's see. I took the trade. Let's see. And I also took a trade with gold because that dollar was very bully. And these are my trades right now. Can you see this screen? The MetaTrader screen? You notice this is my US30 trade and this is my gold trade. And I am looking at US30 right now. So gold went back a little bit, but let's see gold. So now this is when I start jumping around screens. So now gold retraced a little bit. Gold I got in at 1700. So right now she retraced a little bit, just fine. And then most likely I want to see her go down here or even further. So I'm just going to put it at 1688 is my take profit. And hopefully she gets there. Maybe she will, maybe she won't. I'll go back to US30 and see what's up with that. she's gonna react a little bit to the 23%, but for the most part, I think she wants to go down here. So at least I'm gonna let her go down to 39.96. That's gonna be my profit. And again, since I went in here, and then like I said, when I was talking to you guys, I told you guys I saw a lot of accumulation here. So that's why I knew I thought she was gonna go down, and boom. If we would have taken a trade up here, right now we would be at the lots that I do, I'd probably be like about $1,000 in profit right now, a little bit more. Talking to you guys for like 5 minutes. Interesting, huh? Any questions? I think now we kind of just hang out and wait. Just because I took the trade a little bit lower than I would have liked to, I'm going to see what she does now, because most likely she's going to come back here. So I'm going to give it a very short SL. If I lose 200, 300 bucks, it doesn't matter, because then if she comes up here, then I'll get it from up here. But I didn't want to miss out the opportunity on her coming down. But yeah, this was the ideal trade. Questions?
So you took the trade at what point again?
I took the trade and ended up taking the trade down like here when this candle moved up a little bit. So around 150. I'm gonna give it until like 170, just because it's gonna be a tighter SL, just because I didn't take it up here, you know. Or if she starts giving a little bit of profit and I still see that she's, you know, hiccuping a little bit, then I'll start taking the profit, just because again, this was the time to take it.
Okay.
Not a lot of people will take it here, will wait for confirmation, because she could have just gone up here, you know. And now she's reacting to the 23%, so she might very well come back up again.
Okay, see it. Yeah, we see it going up. See it going up a little bit.
Yeah, thing is, like, she won't go down on a straight line. We all wish she did, but she doesn't. Right. She will retrace a little bit once she gives us these big candles. And again, this is in the 3 minutes, so these candles might seem huge, but honestly, if you go down to other time frames, it might not be as big. So right now she's wicking a lot on the 15 minutes. That means that she's reacting to that 23%. That doesn't mean shit. Like, to be honest, when she opens, she might just go down. I'm liking this level a lot, just because I see if you see, there's a lot of accumulation here. So this accumulation probably, you know, it's letting me know that there's something of interest in there. You know, that's a price that she has a very strong reaction to. So either she's gonna take it or go down from it. So when you see those little pockets like that of a lot, you know, pay attention to those.
And these are mostly short trades, right? You're not holding these for longer than an hour.
Yeah, you shouldn't. These are very, you know, in and out trades. I mean, I've held trades for a long time. I don't recommend or suggest it. You know, so again, I'm just gonna set since I just took it with you guys on the phone, I'm just gonna put it to 175. If it hits there, I'm not interested in the trade anymore. I'm gonna wait for another point to go in. But definitely the move, as I could see it right now, is down. That's my opinion. And this one went a full retrace, so, you know, to the 1703, but it looks like she's gonna continue to go down. When this is the 50, the red is the 50, which is the 50-day moving average. The 50-day is gonna show you the biggest move. These two are shorter. One is 8 days and the other one is 20. So the yellow one is 8 days. So it's going to tell you the shortest move in the market, you know, like what's going on in the last week or so. The other one is going to give you the 20 days. If they all point down, it's a nosedive. So go for it. You know, see, she's starting to come back down. Even though I put my SL here. That way, if the trade ends up losing, you know, another thing that I learned how to do, or I'm still learning how to do, is to learn to lose. We have a very hard time setting those stop losses. At least I used to. But you have to know when you want to get out of a trade, when a trade is no longer good for you. Because, and it doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just that I went in, you know, if had I gone up here, you know, my SL would be much bigger. But I went up here, you know, because she may or may not come back here. I don't know. So I'm going to try to take advantage of this move right here, right now. If it doesn't, it's okay. I'll lose a couple $100 and then get back on it when the time is right, which is if she comes back here. So right now, she's kind of like just hanging out there. She reacted to the 23. But I think that's BS. It's just because it's not, you know, there's not a lot of volume. But again, guys, 7 o'clock, you saw it. By 7:30, you know, if by 7 o'clock you see this, take the trade, hang on to it a little bit, you know, give yourself enough risk, you know, enough room for the risk that you're willing to take. If you're willing to open it up a little bit, make sure that your lot size is not huge. I have $100,000 account, so my lot sizes are the equivalent of $2 a lot. So, you know, because the leverage on E8, you have to put it on E8, Edward, if you're going to end up using it, you're going to have to put, if you're trading indices, you're going to have to put $10, $20. That's the equivalent of $1 or $2 on a normal leveraged account. It's just that the leverage on those indices is different for E8. So you got to make sure that your lot size is right. So a lot of people say, oh, $20. No, it's not $20. It's $2. Now she's like acting up a little bit, which might not mean crap. It just might mean that she's ready to go down. If not, she will go back here and then we'll take it again when she's here and see. And then gold is doing kind of something similar. Gold and US30 doesn't mean that they move like each other, but they do have a strong reaction to the dollar. If you notice, the dollar was extremely bullish when I did it on the thing. So I clicked. So the dollar is it's on a move up. Unfortunately for us, because that means, you know, the dollar is getting stronger with all this inflation and all these fun things that are going on. Another thing, you guys, news. I use forexfactory.com for my news. Hold on. All right, so today there's really not much of impact going on when you see these folders that are either yellow or orange. They're not high impact news, but for example, yesterday, you see this one, the red folders are high impact news. So when this thing came on, market goes crazy. So always be mindful of these folders and the times that you're trading. So for example, at 8:30, even though it's like a whatever yellow folder today, I might see a reaction. And then at 10 a.m., I'm definitely going to see a reaction because there's one of members of the FOMC speaking at 12:30 the same. So these two time frames are going to be active. The market will react some way, somehow to whatever the hell they're going to say or do. US30, let's take a look again. She's seeing, she takes on this level, like fully takes it on, and I should be in profit on my trade at this point. No, I'm not in profit. There's also like, you're gonna notice that depending on the broker that you use, there's gonna be a slight discrepancy between pricing. So sometimes there's a spread of a few points. So even though you see it on TradingView that is 142, your broker might say it's 145. FYI. So she's still reacting to the 23, but these MAs are still indicating me that she may go down. And then with gold, I'm just gonna give it, it's gold. Gold is accumulating there again. She needs to take down this level for now, because I'm back at the 3 minutes, and then this is another level. If you notice, these are levels that I want her to take that out. If she takes this out, then she's gonna continue to melt. And the rest is just like a patience game. Right now, the US30, it's really reacting to this level, but it hasn't taken this one. So who knows what's gonna happen. Any other questions, guys?
How fast do you put the trade in as soon as you see the charts? Because you gotta do it really fast. You gotta be quickly.
Yeah.
That's
Again,
it.
I kind of messed up because I didn't take it. I knew it was gonna happen as I was talking to you guys. I'm like, I'm gonna take the trade up here, and then like I looked away and it was already doing this whole candle. But I took it as like when I saw it, I kind of gave it a little bit of a break, and then went back in. Yo soy media desesperada when I see these kind of moves because I think she's gonna continue going. So I end up losing these type of trades sometimes. So that's why I gave it a short stop loss, because if it does happen, I want to have the opportunity to take it up here. I don't want to wait and hold a trade and oh shit, you know, she went back to the 200 where she should have gone.
You're putting the stop loss with the broker.
Put it right up here at 170. So if she goes back to 170, she's going to take me out of the trade, which is fine because then I'm going to wait for her to get up here again.
But I guess my question is, are you combining TradingView? Are you able to, you're not able to trade directly with TradingView?
No,
Exactly.
unfortunately,
Okay.
with these type of brokers and US30, because we're not allowed to trade US30 in the US.
Right.
But these type of brokers, you cannot link them to TradingView. So unfortunately, you have to like either put an order from before, or like when I was talking to you guys, I could have just put the button, you know, hit the button and then adjust my SL because she wasn't going to move very fast from here. But again, that's like when I start seeing these things, I wake up super early for the most part, and I start seeing these things. Once I start seeing these things, and they happen around this time, that's why I wanted to do it at 7 a.m. because I mean, there's going to be another movement later on, but usually if you catch the move up here, this is where, you know, this is going to give you the whole move of the market if it continues to go down. If she continues to go down, she will give me this whole move probably all the way down to this level if I had to guess today. If she's bearish. She had a big drop yesterday, so she also might reverse a little bit. So today might be, when there's huge movements the day before, the following day might be a little bit choppy. So today she may be choppy, and there's not like huge impact news that are going to make her do something major. But at this point, the next trade I'll take, if she doesn't, you know, if she takes me out of this one, then I'll either wait for her to get here and trade again. And if this one fails for whatever reason, then I'll wait till market open and see what she does after 9:30.
Right.
Yeah, but right now this is a good time to trade, especially if you're like a newbie to US30, because she doesn't move as fast. 9:30, this is like, if you're new to US30, I don't suggest trading at 9:30. I did it last year because soy una loca. But quite honestly, that thing is like, because you might get this candle and then you might get like a candle up here just to reverse and go back down. So,
Yeah, 'cause if you
or
got
all
that.
of a sudden she might open and then she's all the way down there. You're like,
But,
what the hell happened?
but when you trade before market hours, the trades are in effect. However,
No, they are.
okay,
With Forex, it runs from 6 p.m. to 5 p.m. So from 5 to 6 is the only time frame that you cannot put a trade, but you can put a trade at all times. So market doesn't, and there's currencies like GJ, like the pound and the yen, that they don't close. So you can put trades 24/7. I mean, except for the weekends, but
right.
for the weekends, the only thing you can trade is crypto. So you see now in the 3 minutes, which doesn't mean squat that it's doing this. Again, if she takes me out, I'm cool with it. I'm just gonna wait until she gets up here. She may or may not take me out. So we'll see. But yeah, again, this is like a video games. You want to take as much from her as you can. And every time you hit that button to open up a trade, you have to know that you are losing most likely. You know, when you put a trade, I'm not gonna say, okay, think of it as a losing trade, because obviously nobody puts a trade thinking it's gonna be a loser, but think that the probability for you is that you're going to lose. It's not that you're going to win. Because that's why you have to assess your risk properly before you get into the trade and know how much you're willing to risk on that trade. Because again, most likely you're playing, this is a casino, you're playing against the house.
Right.
So
And you lose in seconds.
yes, you notice this candle, like again, had I gotten up here, easily $1,000. So that's the importance of getting in at the right time and getting in. That's why I do this. That's why I start before 7. A lot of people tell me, oh, it's too early, wait till market opens. By the time market opens, I already know the move. I already see where she's going. And that to me is why I wake up a little bit earlier. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna take a trade. But definitely I start seeing these patterns from before market opens. So right now I know that I have a point here, and you can say, okay, yeah, that took you 15 minutes when the market opens. Like, but sometimes when market opens, she's already down here. So I already took advantage of a whole move. And then when market opens, maybe I'll take the reverse if she goes up, or if she continues down, I keep riding her,
Interesting.
because a market open, it could be a different ball of wax when she opens,
Right. Right.
She could go down here and all of a sudden take this level, which she might, because this is a level that she left from yesterday. When she has these big levels, you could bet anything that she will go back to them. Some point or another, she will go back to fill them, and she fills them like textbook. When, you don't know, but
When we don't know.
yeah, she's very close to this level, so she might. If she takes it, then you wait until she gets up here, or at least to the 50%, and you take her all the way down. Again, go on the mentality that you want to take as many points from her as you can. This is a computer, this is a machine, this is a video game. You're taking as many points as you can from them. So
And right now you're basically trading just US30, or
and
you're doing
gold and
and
gold.
gold.
Yeah.
Okay.
GJ was stuck for a while. Recently it broke off, and and I missed that trade. It's funny because I was watching GJ, but it happened the other day while I was sleeping. Sometimes I do London, but lately I haven't been able to do London, and I don't care to do London. Right now, as of right now, I'm trying to develop like a routine, I think, with In the past, I was kind of like all over the place, trading different sessions, because if I saw a move like in Asia, I would take it, which is good if you see the move. It doesn't matter when it happens. But I was like exhausting myself. And this is something that you need to approach with a clear mind, a sense of, relax, because if you start trading when you're upset or when you're stressed, or it's just going to aggravate the process, and you might jump into a trade that you don't have to, or holding a loss for too long. And you don't want to do that. You have to let it flow. Like I said, like, I'm okay if she takes me out. If she takes me out, it is what it is. I'll wait till another entry point and recover from there. Yesterday, I ended up making like 4,100 bucks, but I had made so many mistakes, because mistakes do happen. Those are like little trading errors that I'm trying to work on right now. Right now, like, the next level of my game is to perfect these little things, because the more precise that you become in this, the more money you're gonna make, and the less you're gonna stay in the market.
So when you say you're gonna take it later on, would that be later on today? Would that be later on
No,
tomorrow? You
definitely.
hold it there?
No, I don't move from here until after 11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right now, these hours for me, like, I'll get up, I'll make breakfast or whatever. But right now, the good thing about TradingView is this setup is already on my phone. Once I do it in the computer, it kind of goes directly on the app. Once I open the TradingView app, I'm going to see this exact setup, colors and everything. So I could walk away from my computer and see exactly where, my trade is, or like where she is. So I could be in the kitchen and I could, continue my trade.
Okay, so you're basically making a morning routine. You're there till like 11 in the morning, just watching the charts and
Yeah. If I get my goal before 11, then, I won't trade anymore.
Okay.
Now, sometimes, like last Thursday, I saw one of these and I didn't have to make much because I was just closing phase 1 of the challenge. So obviously it's pointless once you get your goal, that's it, because they're not paying you anymore, or they're not going to pay you, or it's irrelevant, whatever trade you take after that. So I finished my goal before 8 a.m. I think, because I started early. There was a big move on gold and I was like, you know what, it worked out, and I was done by 8. So that's it. I closed everything, and I didn't trade her anymore. I was like, okay, time to watch the birds or something. See, she's picking up again. She didn't take me out, thankfully. Let's see if we get a little profit from her. I'm already in profit right now on this one. So let's see. She's back reacting to the 23 level. And again, this is a live platform. Just because I do it one day doesn't mean squat the next day. But on a given basis, she will give 100 points every single day. That is something for sure. 100 points. And if you do, for example, a $2 lot, 100 points is $2,000. If you cannot live on $2,000 a day, I don't know who the hell you are. But yeah. See, we're picking up. Hopefully she gives me enough momentum. All right. The one that's not being super successful is the gold trade. Let's see. But she might start to go down again. Gold, because I did a $3 lot, every point is 300 bucks. I took it. So right now in gold, I'm losing about 500 bucks. So I'm just gonna put right here my stop loss, just because I don't want it to go any further than that. That's the risk that I'm willing to take, because if she goes further than that, then I don't want the trade. I want, I'm gonna look for another trade. So I'm just gonna put to 703 on this one, 1703. and hope for the best. Look, this one is the gold one. Can you see my trades? This is MetaTrader, but for the computer. See, gold right now, this is US30. This is how much I'm making on US30, and this is how much I'm losing on gold. So I'm at a positive of 100, but gold is going down. So this could, you know, just because this is not even 2 points difference, you know, two points up. So right now I'm in a profitable trade for US30. This is another indicator that someone sent to me for MetaTrader. I don't know if this is the MetaTrader, guys. So once you see all these like in confluence that it's red, that means that the whole market is bear. I'm gonna see for gold what's going on. For gold, we have the minute, it's still a little bullish. See, I went out. I took the trade down here, which I shouldn't have. I should have been a little bit more patient. And that's why I'm in a losing trade on this one. But thankfully, US30 is making up for it right now. So if you notice, this is the US30 one. Look at this candle, guys. Let's go back to US30. It's a little bit more exciting. Boom. So right now, just because it's before market opens, she's giving me about 800 bucks. I'm gonna try to take some profit on it. I'm gonna take a profit at 500, just because I know she's gonna retrace. So 34, 110. I'm gonna put it at 110. That means that guarantees that if she goes back up, at least I'm gonna make $500 on this trade. And if she goes back up, then again, give me 1 second, guys. My daughter is calling me, so I'm gonna mute myself for about 2 seconds. Okay, so are you guys still with me? So I did close at the 500 and then I went back in because I think she's gonna continue, which is usually also where I've messed up sometimes. So let's see what happens. But I went in on a smaller lot this time, just so I wouldn't risk losing what I already made. And gold is starting to go back down. So it looks like we are going to be successful, guys. So what do you guys think? Questions, concerns? I'll see.
Do you trade every day, like Monday to Friday?
Yes. This is my routine every single day. And you have to have it every single day. You have to do the same thing every single day. If not, if you're gonna skip it for whatever, don't trade. Go that day and watch the birds or whatever. Like for example, tomorrow I won't be able to trade at this time because I have to train a little bit earlier. So what I'll do is probably mark the setups, and I won't trade at this time, but I'll just wait for market open, for market to open. I also have other groups that they send me signals. There's other signals that I paid for, but I only use signals as a way to reassure my positions. I like to know why that person is sending that signal. I just don't take a trade off of a signal just because somebody sent it. You know what I mean? But if, for example, if I'm going to sell and I get a signal to sell, I'm like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. So I use it as assurance for me. So this one, I'm going to see if she gives me a little bit to the upside a little bit. Because right now she might give me, come back up here. And again, you guys, had we taken the trade up here, 100 points already, a little bit over 100 points. We would have been chilly willy. We would have been done for the day, happy, and with 2 grand on this side. What do you guys think? Easy? Easy enough?
Nothing's easy. Takes a
Funny,
lot of work.
the hardest part about this, I could show you. If you do this, you'll have like a concept already of what's going to happen. The hardest part is controlling yourself. There's no other, like I tell people all the time, the hardest part is controlling yourself. If you learn how to control yourself, if you learn to say, okay, see now, dollar, pay attention, dollar is starting to go down. Doesn't mean squat either, because it just be a quick retracement. Again, these are like very low time frames. So not a major move happens in the low time frames, but the low time frames will give you a little bit more information on where to get in and what might happen next. What might, again, it's not, nothing here is for sure. And you have to be able to adapt and think on your feet. So this is, again, this is the hardest thing for this game is controlling yourself, setting boundaries, and say, okay, this is how much I'm going to do. This is, this is what I'm going to risk. I'm not going to risk a penny more, and stick to it, Because if you don't, if you say, okay, I'm going to push it a little more, one more pip, one more pip, one more pip, one more pip, one more point, that's where you get in trouble.
Right.
You have to be to the point of like a robot on this thing. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Move on to the next. If it worked, it worked. Congratulations. Take your money and go. And if you have a day, like for example, Friday was a losing day for me. Friday, it was a day where every single trade that I took was a loser trade. So when that happens, it's cool. It's not your fault. You're not an idiot. you're not comiendo mierda. It's just shit that happens, you know. Close your computer, you know, lose whatever you're willing to lose and get on with your life. Come back the next day. It's fine. The next day, say I went back yesterday and I recovered whatever I had lost on Friday. So it's not the end of the world if that happens. Cool.
Yep, good.
So that's basically it. I'm gonna keep on hanging here to see what she's gonna do now. I already took a profit at 500. So and then gold right now, see what else she's gonna do. She most likely is gonna take me out, which is fine. Or maybe not. Let's see. Again, if she takes me out, it's okay. I'll wait until she gets to another nice point and we take it from there. And this one right now probably is going to do something similar to what she did here. So she still has a lot of momentum to the downside. So she might do one of these for a couple minutes. And then hopefully she comes here and takes it, which I think she will. I think she's going to go for this level right now, because this is a level that hasn't been touched for a while. This one was one that she created yesterday. So, but this one down here hasn't been touched in a while. So she needs to come back and close it. And another thing with US30, once you see these levels, she's gonna touch it twice. She's gonna go here, retrace, and come back most of the time. These are some things that I've picked up from watching her every single day for a year. And yes, she's a she. She's a whore. She's a big whore, and we don't like her sometimes. Sometimes we've broken up and everything. But another thing, guys, the market has nothing personal against you. It's a market. It's just producing information. It's how you react to the information. Like I do take a lot of like psychology on this thing, because again, that's the hardest, and that's the hardest part of this game, controlling your head. I took a psychology, I don't want to say it's not a course, it's just something that it's a book. I'm going to share it with you guys. And the guy says, it's nothing personal. She has nothing against you. Okay. So don't take it personal. It's just a series of information that she's producing. So if somebody curses at you in another language, you wouldn't know what the hell they were saying, so you wouldn't be affected by it, right? So she has nothing against you. She is just producing information again. So see, gold took me out, so that was a losing trade. So she went a little bull there. So most likely she's gonna get to the point that I had marked. And if she gets there, I'll see what she does. And then probably at that level, she would be ready to melt. And again, gold, for the longest time, I stopped trading gold because gold tends to be a little bit toxic. It's even more toxic than US30 at times. So US30, I think it's a lot more predictable. It's a lot more systematic. Gold is like, but the good thing with gold, when gold goes, it goes, you know, whichever way. And then if you do like $3 lots and things like that, like you could get $1,000, $2,000 extremely easy. You could also lose them just as easy. But any questions, thoughts?
So your target for what you want is 31,000.
31,000 is the next level that I think she's gonna go around here. just because it's the support. If she takes it, then she's gonna go down to this box. She's most likely gonna go down to this one. She's gonna try to fill it. Once she fills this box, which is called an imbalance, once she fills this, she might retrace up here or even up here again. At that point in time, you need to throw another fib, because then obviously it got to your support. So it took it, so it's a new, you have to throw another one because this one will no longer be valid. And then you'll see where the new support is. And most of the time it will happen in line to another point in the market that there was some sort of resistance or another support way back when, you know. So for example, let's open up the 4 hours. If she ends up placing a support here, it was kind of a support at this point, you know. Más o menos. You see there was an area of interest at some point. See, she reacted to that level. So if she ends up getting here and she reacts up, it's a very strong level of support, because at some point she kind of reacted to that level as well. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I love the 3 minutes. A lot of people hate it. I don't like the 1 minute. The 1 minute is neurotic because it changes even faster. The 1 minute I go when I'm like getting impatient, I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I go at the 1 minute. Each candle, it's a 1 minute. So it changes fast. So you see boom, boom, like super, super quick. So right now I feel pretty confident on this one, but we'll see. Again, none of the lower time frames are going to indicate a huge movement. They're just going to kind of tell you what the hell is going on with price. And when price does this, if you notice, it does this and boom, it does this and boom. So chances are that it's going to do this and boom. Make sense? You want to see patterns, something that kind of triggers your brain to think, you know, hey, this happened. And there's got to be some logic, and, you know, it's not just because I wanted it. Makes sense?
It does.
It looks easy. That's it. Hang on here. I can do anything. What did you guys think? Did you benefit from something like this?
Oh, for sure, yes.
I plan to do them so I'm gonna plan to do them next Tuesday, once a week. I think and again, this is just me trading, so anything could happen. I showed you guys I lost the gold trade. I'm gonna stay away from gold probably today for a little bit, because I already took a losing trade in the evening, which I shouldn't have. Really loca. I'm gonna stick to US30 today. She seems to be moving where, you know, like I want her. So I'm gonna stick to her today. If I get a signal from someone else from gold and it looks interesting, then I'll look at it. You know, a lot of people that send signals, they'll start sending it a little bit later, because it's when you get a big move in the market. But I like to trade her at this time because, you know, it moves slower than market. You can still see, you can still catch yourself and fix yourself if you make a mistake, you know. When market opens, like, it's so fast that you might not be able to fix yourself, because it is fast. I don't know if you guys have seen these charts when market opens, but it's like buckle up. If you're in a trade at that time, or if you happen to be in a trade when news happen, oh my God, it's insane. Insane.
Yeah, seen it for stocks, not for Forex, but for stocks it moves fast.
Yeah, this one moves like faster because there's all these companies producing information.
Right.
So It's not one single company. And believe it or not, US 100 or NASDAQ moves a lot similar to US30. Doesn't mean that it moves the same way, but it moves very similar. So right now, see, it broke a support that I had. I haven't like really analyzed her, but most likely she will continue, you know, she moves parallel to US30. So if US30 goes down, chances are this one will go down. This one moves a lot cleaner than US30. More companies too, but I don't know, something about US30 that es la tóxica que nos gusta. Because like, she is my toxic girlfriend. She has taken me for a spin a couple times. I'm not gonna lie. So that's it. I'm gonna send you, as a matter of fact, babypips.com. It's absolutely free, but it has a lot of information on candles, candle formation, candle patterns, you know, the basics. This is like what I did before I even took my first trade. That's where I went for it. Babypips.com. It was and then a lot of YouTube, you're gonna find a lot of information on YouTube that you might not need to buy a course or anything. Courses are gonna show you the basic, guys, you know, supply and demand. You know, if you are a beginner, yes, take a course, but I think you'll find the information on YouTube and on Baby Pips a lot. So I don't think you might need it. If you want to invest in a course, I think Bank's course is better. I did learn a lot of the basics from him. So his course is very, if my friend hears me say this, it'll be like, no, you need to sell your course. I don't have a course, but no, like I did take a lot of information from Q. Q goes to the gym with me, so I also ask him a lot of questions on these things. So yeah. Questions, concerns, coffee.
What made you decide to get E8 over any other broker?
I'm in a chat. I'm in a group of people that do trades, and one of the guys recommended it. I've been trading with it since I started challenges. Well, mentira. I did FTMO, and I did another Australian one. I like the 8 just because of the no restriction in funding days, you know, like on trading days. FTMO, for example, you can make your profit target in a day, but you have to wait. You would have to wait 10 days to pass the phase 1, even if you have the profit target. In this one, if you make your profit target in a day or 2, then you move on to the next phase. And once you make the profit target on the next phase, you're already funded. So in reality, if you're really, really, really good, you could get funded in a day or 2, well, in 2 days. So you get funded in 2 days. So there's a lot of people that I know that passes these challenges on the daily. So for the longest time, I had the hardest time to pass phase 1. And now I just passed phase 1 within a couple of days. The next challenge for me right now is to get funded, which I already have, but I blew the account. To stay funded, because once you get funded, you start getting paid. That's the goal. That's the goal, Edward, to retire.
Right. So with the challenge, well, with the challenges, you're putting in money.
The challenge, like for example, if you buy the $100,000 one, which I think is the perfect size, is 500 and change. Okay, so they'll give you 5% loss, daily loss, up to an overall 8%. So if you lose more than 8%, you're out. If you lose more than 5% in a day, you're out. Okay. And this includes the drawdowns. So you could be on a trade and your candle, that's why you have to have risk management and proper risk management, because if I exceed my loss for the day, even on the drawdown, even if like 5 seconds later, the candle turns around and it's in my favor, just because I hit that drawdown, it takes you out of the challenge. That's what's challenging about those challenges. Okay, because sometimes you might be in a winning trade. It's just that you went in too soon or something, and you're waiting for it to reverse, pero en ese tiempo te comiste the loss that was allowed for your day. So you got to be careful with that. That's why it's very, very important to place proper stop losses. And you know what? If you had a losing day, you had a losing day, because it's not worth it. I've blown challenges just because I've gotten upset, or I just give up and I said, fuck it. And I go into these crazy ass lots that I know I'm going to blow it. And then you look back and you're like, how stupid. But it happens. It's an emotional roller coaster. I've blown about 15 challenges already.
But these challenges, are you putting it? Okay, so you only put it in like $500. Not okay. Because you said
See, you're not,
100,000.
no, 100,000 you're not losing. If you fund your own account, which I don't recommend at this point, especially with all these prop firms around, the prop firms will give you discipline, because again, since you cannot exceed a certain amount of losses or drawdowns, you're not going to get into a stupid trade. It's going to, you're going to think twice before getting into a trade. And you're also going to say, okay, like this trade is no good. I'm going to just let it go. And it's going to teach you to get out of it, which in the past, again, I struggled with, because I started with live accounts and I made a lot of money at first. I was like beginner's luck, and then I lost a lot of money in the process as well. So ever since I discovered the challenges, I've been doing them, and to me it has helped me perfect my trading. It has helped me with discipline. It has helped me a lot with psychology. And again, a lot of people say, oh, but trade a demo and that way you don't even have to put money in. Yes, you could trade a demo and not put any money in, but the demo, you are not as emotionally attached to it, because you know deep down inside is a demo. Okay, the challenges, you had to pay to get it. Yes, you're trading on a demo account, you're not trading real money, but you are, you're emotionally connected to it because you had to pay to get it. And if you blow it, you're going to have to spend another 300, 500 bucks, whatever it is that you're going to spend on the challenge.
That's true. That way you invested.
Yeah. So my people from my chat just woke up, and they're all like in the cell. So it took me out already of the second time that I went in. Did it? No, it hasn't. It's about to now. It's it. So right now I'm gonna wait for her to do whatever she needs to do, because if you notice, she wants to go back up a little bit. See how this. Hold on. Let's see. So right now, if you notice, she's gonna go a little bit up. Let's see where she wants to go. When she starts hooking like this, you gotta watch her. Right now it's 8:38. So I don't know where she's gonna go now. I'm gonna see. I gotta hang out, because again, perfect entry would have been up here and you notice it. But right now, see how she's flipping. Again, this is the 3 minutes. If I go down to, you're gonna see like either awake. But this candle right now, it's letting me know that she's pretty strong to the upside right now, at least to the 23%. So why would I want to be in a trade? You know, I'm gonna wait until she gets to her level and then take her down from there if she allows me. You know. But this is like I said, this is like a video game, a very expensive video game. So, what do you guys think?
How much do you recommend to, like, a minimum to put in on a live account?
On a live account, if you don't know what you're doing, don't trade a live account. Because number one, for it to make any sense, you're gonna have to put at least $10,000 in it, in my opinion, for you to take big trades. You could start it with 1,000, but you're gonna be taking very small trades that you're gonna make maybe like $50, $100, and you're not gonna get excited over it. And then you're gonna get frustrated because obviously, I don't know, but most likely you're gonna get frustrated. So I suggest, especially if you don't know what you're doing, spend the money on the challenge instead, perfect it, you know, get beat up a little bit, and then start your live trading. After you get up, you know, you have to get beat up a little bit in this game. It's nature. A lot of people tell me, but why? You have to get hit until you get hit, you're not gonna understand. So again, these prop firms, they minimize your hit. Because again, you're gonna be losing $500. So just think of like, and I say $500 just because of for the $100,000 account. The 50 works as well. I got funded with the 50, but I do notice that I feel a little bit more free with the 100,000. To be honest, you know, like I could fuck up a little bit more. Hold on. Let me see if any signals. Again, I have channels that send me signals. There's some signals that I paid for. See, like my friends in the chat, they're saying 30,700 is the her final resting place today. They see her going down to here. That would be amazeballs if she did. So right now we'll see where she goes. She's like hooking up a little bit. I want to get back into the trade, but I want to make sure that I get her as high as possible at this point. Hopefully all the way up here, but I don't think so. Maybe at the 23%, she's gonna get back. And again, pay attention to, see, gold is back to 1,700. See, toxic ass. She took me out up here only to get back exactly where I took her. But I'm not gonna touch her now. So she's down here. She might go up again. Yeah, who knows? Again, toxic. Because now you want to get back in. The minute you get back in, she's gonna go up. So let me stick to US30. Those are the things that you're like, oh shit, I want to go back. I want to get back what she took from me. Right now, because market is about to open, she's gonna move like a little bit funny now.
So basically with Forex, you're betting kind of opposite of stocks. So is that what I'm getting?
Yes and no. You want to go with the movement of the market, whatever that is. So if stocks are bullish and people are buying a lot, then you want to go into a long position. If not, then you want to go into a short position. So how I like to see her, because I mean, let me see how I phrase this. US30 moves quicker to the downside than it moves to the upside. So for us Forex people, we like to see her go down.
Down. Right.
Yeah.
So you want to get in, like if you were to get in at 38,000 today and it sells at 31, that's an amazing trade, right? For you guys.
At 38,000?
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, yeah. If she's 100 points, that's like an amazing trade.
Okay.
And she gives it every single day.
But on
I
the
mean,
on
she
the
gave
on
it,
the
she
on the
she gave it
downside, on the downside.
on whichever side.
Okay.
On whichever side. She gives it every single day.
So you make money on whichever side?
Yeah, whichever side it goes. That's the beauty of it. You're not buying anything. The beauty of these things is like you're not buying absolutely anything. With a stock, you're holding.
You're holding,
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. So if the stock goes down, you're kind of stuck, because you're already invested in that company. With this one, I give three flying F's, like wherever it goes. If it goes up, I'm gonna write it up. If it goes down, I'm gonna write it down.
Okay.
So
You
that's
gotta, it's a different mindset. You gotta definitely
yeah.
switch minds. Yeah, because with the stocks, unless you're doing options, obviously you always want it to go up. Unless you're doing options, then
Yeah, this one you're not buying anything. You're taking a gamble on how the market's gonna move. You're saying, well, I think it's gonna move up, or I think it's gonna move down. And again, it's a gamble. It's an educated gamble.
okay, I'm a little more clear.
Yeah, see, gold decided to plummet, and I took a loss. So these are the things that you're like, you can harp on because I took a loss up here. So you're like, whatever. It is what it is. Had I held it, I would be in profit right now. And look, looks like she took this level. So it looks like she's going to go for this one.
So with gold, you got in. I didn't see what you got in. You got in at what level? When
it did the big push down here, I got in here at 1701, but then it retraced all the way up here. So that's why I ended up losing that trade. Sometimes it's good to.
You were betting that it would go down.
Yeah, I was betting that it would continue to go down. And the thing is, I can do $2, $3 lots. So every point is $300. So if it goes 4 points, you're already losing $1,200. Okay. See, right now she's taking a nice dive. And probably so is US30. They don't correlate. So don't think that just because gold is going down, US30 has to go down. They don't correlate. But because dollar is so bull right now, this is dollar. So because dollar is so bull, it's going to make the markets go down. Anything that you do against it, because remember, even though this is an index, you're still trading against the dollar, right? Like, so you can have the pair mentality. It's US30 over dollar, gold over dollar. So if dollar goes up, the other currency or whatever pair you're going to do is most likely going to go down. With indices, it's different just because, there's other factors that affect it. But for gold, if dollar goes up, gold is going to go down. For if you're doing any other currency, like not USD, I don't trade anything. Like, for example, AUD over dollar. This one's gonna go down because dollar is so bullish. It's a teeter-totter. So if one goes up, the other one goes down. For the most part. If it doesn't, then there's a discrepancy in price. And that's where also, that will signal some sort of other move too. That's another thing that a lot of people that do smart money trading There's a lot of concepts, there's a lot of strategies. You have to find your own too. A lot of people do Strictly Smart Money. This happens to pay off for me. It's a lot of price action. Just because, you know, you trade what you see. Obviously, you gotta set levels just so you know where the market may go. But yeah, at the end of the day, price action for these pairs is the best. So. Vincent says he couldn't hear anything. You guys can hear me fine, right?
Yes.
Vincent, check your, I guess make sure you don't have me muted or anything. So yeah, it looks like today might be a nice melt off. I hope so. I figured it out, but I sure hope so. I love it when she melts. I don't know what it is about her melting. It's I mean, any nice move like that, you know, get excited over it. But when she melts, it's something ridiculous. It goes by really, really fast. So yeah, no, you going back to you, Edward, you cannot think as when you think stocks. I have a question. When I had my gold trades and I decided to sell, where would I have been in profit right now? Oh, a shit ton of money. Because you were in at 1825 or something. That's where you had your first take profit. So if I remember correctly, I think your gold trades, you got in like at 1830, 1835. So imagine. But Vincent had smaller lots at that time. There were 32 cents. So it's 32 bucks for every point. Still significant. It would have been 1835 minus, and let's just call it 1700 times 32. One single trade, Vincent, would have been like 4,300, but you had many other little ones. I don't know, maybe $10,000 you would have been in profit. $5. So if the total was $5, imagínate, 1835 minus 100 would have been about 27,000. So,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you.
All right, cool.
You were muted, dear.
No, I know I just didn't know I have to press something to talk. I've never done this switch.
You never done it from a phone. And he's in Colombia, guys. So
Hi from Medellin, everybody.
Oh, lovely.
What time is it now? It's 7:53.
8:53 here in Miami.
It would have been what?
The what? Your profit, if it would have been in total $5 lots, then you're talking about $67,000.
Well, they weren't. When you added up the little one, I mean, they were cents, but they were like.
Pero I remember you had different entry points.
Right, you're right. You're right.
So, pero más o menos, vamos a decirle, it would have been big because that was a big move from 1800. It hasn't been in 1800 in a while. So, you had it at 1830 something, if I remember correctly. I don't know, I could go back to your account and look. But this is a patience game. This is a perfect example. Okay, I mean, obviously at that point in time, we didn't know that where gold was going to go, and he had been holding for a while to the point that he was losing his margins because he did have a real account. This is something because we put a bot on his account to test it out, and the bot was doing really good at first, and then it kind of took a crap. And again, everything in the market goes back to a certain point. You just have to hold it enough. Pero en estos casos, like, it's very hard to hold it because accounts are on leverage, margins, a whole bunch of stuff. So sometimes you might take the account before that position goes back to their original starting point. So, you know, that's why risk management is extremely important when it comes to this little game. If you don't have proper risk management, it's, you know, it's tough. You might get screwed. Okay. So right now, this one's in profit, even though she retraced a little bit. Let's see how dollar reacts. There's news, like, again, I told you guys, there's news at there's news at 8:30, which they're not high impact news. Oh, they were. Oh, so we already missed the news, so nothing happened. Probably at 8:30, what the heck were we doing? 8:30. I guess this was the little push because of news at 8:30, only to resume her downward trajectory. So yeah. The next news is at 10, right? At 10. Let me refresh this thing. Next news is 10, yeah, at 10. This is a little bit of higher impact because it's an orange folder. Orange and red folders make the market go nuts, especially red. When you see a red folder, corre. Like yesterday, there was a red folder at 8:30. So usually news are going to be 8:30 and 9. And what else? What else? So yeah, this is what I do every single day. Any other questions for me?
I mean, it's a lot for one day, I think. Information.
Yeah.
It's definitely overwhelming.
I want to be doing this like every week at least. Again, I don't consider myself to be like a guru or perfect at this, or, you know, but I guess if I sit with you guys and I show you this, at least it calms me down. It helps me like kind of talk about my stuff too. Kind of my reasoning. Because again, this is a very lonely sport. You question a lot of things, and when you're in a trade and you're alone, which is the best way, by the way. I don't think, you know, because if somebody else tells you, oh, get out of the trade or whatever, and you end up getting out and it's a winning trade, you're like, ah, or the opposite, you get in a trade because somebody told you to, and it's a losing trade, and you're like, fuck. But no, I say it's lonely because sometimes you start questioning yourself and you're like, oh my God, ¿qué hice? Am I doing the right thing? And it's a very valid feeling, and you know, so at least with you guys, I could go over my thought process. And I mean, I'm trying to show you guys what I know. I'm not an expert, but I've done my share of of beatings. I've got my share of beatings in this thing. So hopefully she goes down. I really want her to go down, but we'll see.
Hopefully you make some money today.
Yeah, because of that stupid ass trade that I took last night, I'm losing right now, overall, but it'll turn around when market opens. So
I mean, I'm pretty sure you'll do well today.
I'm off to get tears, my friend, because I do want to retire. We've been working on this retirement for a while, right, Ed?
Let's hope.
Ed is gonna be the next Forex millionaire, and he's gonna move down to Miami.
Yes. Yeah,
No more
get rid of it.
taxes.
Oh man, they're driving me nuts. We got the 9:15 deadline, so you have to solve it.
I know.
I got this 9:15 and it's driving me nuts.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Me
Yeah.
too. Trust me. I have
And
that 9:15 like lurking in there.
And then we got the October 15, and yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like it never ends.
And this year, clients seem to be more. I mean, at least for me, it seems to be they seem to be slower. I guess because they don't have any money.
Slower getting the information. A lot of the thing is, a lot of them owe money, a lot of money, and they just know it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have clients that have never owed that amount of money. This year they do.
Yeah. So they're like, taking their time. So now I'm getting like a rush of people. Okay, normally would have done like maybe earlier in the summer.
Absolutely.
Pero ahora todo el mundo está apurado.
Yeah.
You know how it is. Oh, I haven't talked to you in a year, but here's all my shit. Turn it around in like 2 days, please.
And I need it for tomorrow.
Yes. And don't you dare be late with my deadline. Hello.
Okay, you're right.
Oh man. See, that's why I do Forex.
Yeah, I see. I don't blame you.
Yeah, man. When this thing really starts paying off, yeah, it's game over for taxes, I think.
I don't blame you.
So anyways, guys, so that's it. I want to be doing this on Tuesday. I think Tuesday is a lot more exciting because at 8:30, but again, if you notice, 7 a.m. we could have had that 200, starting point, which we saw it. It will be very well in profit right now.
You're gonna make it in half an hour. You'll see.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna edit it a little bit and I'm gonna post it for my subscribers. If you guys, I want to do this with the channel, the subscription channel. Again, it's a channel that I'm just started. It's kind of like a more, like I tell people, it's a little bit more intimate of me. Like I share things there that I don't share publicly. My Instagram is open, so I get a lot of creeps in there. So the whole subscription is for people that really want to be there, and the whole trades and stuff like that, I don't share that publicly just because, again, it's just something very personal, especially when I lose money. But it's something that I'm opening up to my subscribers, and this is something that I plan to be doing for you guys. So if you guys like that, subscribe. It's only $5, so find some value on it. So,
absolutely.
Thank you guys. I'm gonna log off and have breakfast. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Too.
Have a great day.
Have a nice
Bye.
day. Bye.
Bye.